Hey everyone, this is Lesky here, back with another FIFA 21 Pro Clubs player build for you guys today. And in this video, we have for you another center back build on my channel. This is my second center back build I have made on my channel. The first one I posted a few weeks ago, I believe, and it's more of a smaller and faster center back build. It's 6 foot, I believe, and in this one is more of a tankier, taller center back. I know I got a lot of comments that a lot of people like the bigger center backs. So we decided to try out a 6'4", 149-pound center back. So as you guys can see, looking at these attributes, especially some of the defensive stats, they're extremely high. So we'll talk about more of that once we get to the skill tree. But just going over to this body page, as you guys can see, we're 6'4" and 149 pounds. And also there is an alternative for some of the players that want even a bigger and bulkier center back. You can bump up the pace even more to the over 149, like at 174 would be the max, this range right here, and that would be really solid at 174. So it's kind of a preference thing. We used it at 149, but looking at the 174 as the weight, that would be very solid as well. So it's kind of up to you guys what you'd like, and the skill tree will be pretty much the exact same no matter what weight you pick, either 149 or 174. But for like the gameplay and all that, we were playing as a 6'4", 149-pound center back, but again, as 174, it would be perfectly fine as well. There's just a few little pros and cons of having a higher weight compared to a lower weight, so it's just kind of preference. Here on the playstyle screen, as you guys can see, we're listed as 6'4", 149 pounds, and like I said earlier, you can try the higher weight if you'd like. But we're going to be at 149, and we're listed as left foot. It's really up to you if you want to be left or you're righty. That's a preference as well. And for me, this center back build is a 91 overall. For some of y'all, it could be a little bit lower, just depending on how many games y'all have played compared to me. So some of y'all, it could be like a 90 or even an 89, or maybe for some of y'all, it could be even a 92 overall. But onto the skill tree now. We will start with the physical page. As you guys can see, we went all the way down to the jumping focus and the strength advanced focus, which will increase your jumping and strength quite a bit. So that'll get this up to 86 strength. And one of the perks of actually getting a little bit higher weight, like up to 174, like I said, you actually get, I think, +3 strength compared to this 149, so that's a pretty good boost. You actually get a little bit better physical stats. And then on this right section, we went all the way down just to this jumping, which gives you +2 jumping for 1 skill point, which is pretty good. I didn't feel the need that we needed to go all the way down to get all this extra stamina and this extra physical focus for just 1 extra jumping, and then you don't really need the second wind as a center back, so you should be fine with just 87 stamina as a center back, because you're not going to be sprinting around too much. So looking at the stats for this center back build, we have 93 jumping and 86 strength. Like I said, if you want to bump up the weight a little bit, you can get even more strength if you prefer that, with 92 reactions and 90 aggression, which is pretty nice because you have really good base stats, reactions and aggression stats as a center back. So now we're going to head over to defending. As you'd expect, on this defensive page, we went for the full upgrade for the center back build, and we got 96 interceptions with 88 defensive awareness, 95 stand tackling, and 97 slide tackling. A lot of those categories could even get upgraded even more. I haven't played center back, right back, or wing back very much in pro clubs. I mostly play in the midfield or attacking, but luckily I didn't have to use this build. We let our innie test it out for us, and he actually did pretty well with it, getting a lot of tackles in that big 6'4" frame. If you go either for the 149 pounds or a little bit higher, it'll still be good, and you should be able to get some really clean tackles because of how big you are and that strength with that high aggression and reaction stats. Hopefully you should get some clean tackles and come out with the ball, and hopefully start some counters for your teammates and go on the offense, and hopefully which will lead to a goal. Some of those nice tackles with these crazy high defensive stats. So now let's head over to the dribbling page, where we actually put a lot of skill points on the dribbling page. As you guys can see, we have 78 agility, 82 balance, 79 ball control, and then 70 dribbling. I wanted to make sure we got the dribbling and ball control up a good amount just so you'd be good on the ball as a center back. I know a lot of y'all that are actually going to be playing center back want to be pretty good on the ball and feel nice on the ball. You don't want your guy to feel too clunky, so having some sort of decent dribbling stats is pretty good, especially when those fast attackers are high pressing you. You want to have some pretty good dribbling stats on the ball, so you're going to at least build out of the back rather than just kick it up all the time, since the high press and your low dribbling stats could cost you in situations like that. So that's why we just gave it a little bit of a bump. So we went all the way down to this ball control focus, down to the ball control, and down to this dribbling, which gives you 70 dribbling. It's better than like 68 what we would have, or even 67, so that's pretty nice. And then the key really on this page was the agility and balance upgrades. That'll help you on defense as well, especially shuffling side to side with the little jockey, the LT-RT, while you're defending. The high agility and balance will help with that. We didn't go for 4-star skills. You're not going to need it as a center back. You're definitely not going to be dribbling that much, so that's definitely not necessary. And that's it for the dribbling page. Let's head over to passing. Over here, we definitely wanted to upgrade the passing a bit, especially the long passing, since the long passing base stats compared to the short passing are a lot lower as a center back. Like, we have 89 short passing for the base stats, and then 78 for long pass. So what you're going to do on this right side is just get this one long pass, and then if you go to this second long pass right here on the left side, that'll give you +2 long pass for only 1 skill point. And then you're going to go all the way down to the long passing advanced focus, which will give you a little bit of curve, and then +3 long passing, which will get you to 85 long passing and then 90 short passing, which is pretty respectable for a tall center back. And you can actually hit some long balls. They're not going to be amazing, I guess. They're not like in the 90s, but 85 is still pretty solid as a center back in my opinion. And then of course you have really good short passing of 90. Unfortunately, the vision isn't the greatest, but this will be it for passing. Let's go to shooting now, where we only have 2 things on here, which is just heading accuracy. Since this is a tall build, you have, I believe, a 93 jumping, and you're definitely an aerial threat. Unfortunately, we didn't play too many games with this build. It was only like a couple hours of gameplay, and I believe we only got 1 goal off of a set piece with this build, a header. It was pretty nice, but I definitely think there's a lot more potential to score off of set pieces and just get a lot of header goals with this build. So simple and easy on the shooting page. Now let's go on to the last section, which is pace. And we went for the full pace upgrade, since on pro clubs, you know, people up top like to go full speed, at least have players in the 90s. For the most part, almost all the players are going to be in the 90s up top, like with pace, if they're a striker or a center forward or even a winger. So just upgrading the pace is crucial for a center back, and especially a tall one, because you're not going to have that much pace. And the one upside as being a little bit lighter weight, having 149 pounds rather than 174, you're a little bit faster. I think you just have like +2 acceleration and -1 sprint speed. You actually have 1 more sprint speed being a little heavier, but like -2 or 3 acceleration. So that's a pretty big difference, I guess, if you were deciding if you want to be a little bit heavier or lighter. But with correct positioning as a center back, especially if you're not using this build as an any, like you're actually playing center back, rather like if it's a 11v11 competitive game, or just you're playing center back with your team in whatever division you're in, the center back build should be really good as long as you're aware of where you should be in the correct positions on defense. And those high defensive stats should definitely kick in with those crazy physical stats. You should be able to outduel pretty much anybody shoulder to shoulder. So that's going to wrap it up for this beastly center back build, guys. Let me know in the comments if you do give it a try, how it went for you. I would appreciate that. And if you could hit that like button on this video and that subscribe button on my channel, I'd appreciate that as well. Thank you guys for watching. Y'all have a great rest of y'all's day, and peace out.